Hi, I'm Kat, and I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on August 8th, 2018. I had a high starting weight of 370, and that was in February of 2018. And I had my program sets a goal that you have to reach before you can be confirmed for surgery or scheduled for surgery. And my goal was 40 pounds, which I lost through a mix of doing the program like I was supposed to and just doing up straight up keto. I actually found that the keto worked better for me. Um, so once I got my surgery, I ended up losing a surgery date. I had 3 weeks and lost another 10 pounds before my surgery date. So yay me! My surgery day of surgery weight was 320, and now I think this is either my 39th or 40th week of post surgery. That would be something I should know, but I don't. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to get to my app that has all my data. I have lost 4 pounds this week. I'm actually recording this a day late, and I was just shy of 4 pounds yesterday, but I'm officially 4 pounds today. Hello, sweetie pie. This is Kaylee. She is a menace, and she's getting a brother. We've decided we have two older cats, but they are much older. She is 6 months, and they are 16 and 13, and they do not want to deal with her. So I am adopting. I have adopted, but he's not here yet. An orange tabby, who is a little young. He's 7 weeks old. So I'm hoping that those two get together, bond, have fun, and can wrestle and play and exhaust each other. um, but anyway, I was saying I lost 4 pounds this week, which I'm very happy about. Which brings my loss since surgery to 84.6 pounds, and my weight loss entirely to 134.6. So yay, I'm really happy about that. The last couple of videos I talked about my sort of new program that I was doing. I look really red today. I don't know why. But I talked about a little bit about my new program, which was and is drinking 96 ounces of water. So I have upped by I have 32 ounce bottle of water that I am now taking 3 times a day. And I also am eating steak for breakfast and meat and cheese for lunch and meat and cheese for dinner. I've started making barbacoa in the Instant Pot, not Instapot. I keep wanting to call it Instapot, but it is the Instant Pot. And I have been taking that in along with my leftover Chipotle barbacoa and steak, and that's been going really well for me. So I'm happy about that because it feels like a couple weeks of larger weight loss, and I feel like I'm moving. And I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I have moved out of the morbidly obese BMI. Anything over 40 on your BMI is morbidly obese, which means basically you can drop dead at any time. And actually, I think 40 is the limit for like if you're over 40 BMI, most insurances will just automatically cover you for insurances that cover weight loss surgery. One of the things they usually are a BMI over 40 or over 35 or maybe just over 30 with comorbidities. And comorbidities are usually diabetes is a big one, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, things that they get very concerned about. So any of those, sleep apnea is another one. Anything that can cause you to die is a comorbidity. Hey, fun. Because I started at a 60 plus, probably a little bit, BMI, I have been morbidly obese for ever. Like I've lost over 100 pounds and I was still morbidly obese. So, but this, I'm trying to think of when it happened. I don't know if it happened this weekend or if it happened last week, but yeah, I moved from morbidly obese into the just severely obese. Which is just a weird thing to celebrate, but it does make me happy because it's movement. And honestly, I will see faster movement because from that there it goes down into just straight up obese and then overweight and then finally normal. And all of those are a lot closer together. I think it's every 5 points at this point. Meanwhile, I had lost 20 or more points before and didn't move at all. Hello, coming back? Are you done with your food? Was your food good? She's a shoulder-mounted cat. She likes sitting on my shoulder. She'll actually go across the back of my shoulder when I'm playing video games. You're such a pretty kitty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anyway, it's nice to see some movement. Also, I talked about it a little bit, I think on here before, that I was first considering that I wanted, like I was feeling like I needed to go back to blonde. And then I started the movement, and the first, I went to a professional hairstylist, and she put in some blonde, basically put in blonde highlights, and it was very subtle. And I think I showed that, but the last couple, it was a couple weeks ago. Last couple weeks have been with the highlights, and they were just pretty subtle. And I've never had a lot of luck having my hair dyed by a professional. So this was the first time I got it done that I was actually like, yeah, I kind of like this. But it was, I liked the way it looked, but it wasn't what I was looking for, because what I was looking for is to go blonde, and it still was very red with a little bit of blonde highlight. So she was like, oh yeah, we'll do it, and she was going to do tiny steps and tiny steps and tiny steps. And I know that that's probably the right way of doing it, and she's being very cautious not to damage my hair. But I'm gonna admit, I'm extremely lazy. I do not blow out my hair. So 90% of the time I air dry my hair, so it doesn't get the damage that a lot of women's hair gets normally. Like, I think most hairstylists are used to people who are blow drying or ironing or curling or doing something to their hair every morning, and I am not. So my hair is pretty resilient and pretty healthy, except for the fact that I do hair dye on it. So this past week, and I think on Tuesday before I recorded the last thing, I decided to use root touch-up, and I did my roots, and it worked a little bit. It was pretty subtle, but I thought, you know what, screw it. I want to move forward. So I had picked up Color Oops, which I've watched some YouTube videos about the process of taking specifically red out of your hair, and a bunch of them mentioned Color Oops. So I thought I'd give it a try. The only ones that, like the people who didn't use Color Oops actually were using professional mixes. So I used Color Oops. It actually took it stripped down the red quite a bit and left me very yellow. And what's interesting is Color Oops says it will just take the color out of your hair, but if your hair has been lifted at all with the color in it, it's going to bring it up to the color it would be with the lifting, not like your normal hair color. So anyway, I did that on Friday night, and basically went to bed with my hair wet, and let it heal, you know, overnight. And I looked at it in the morning and I was like, yeah, it's kind of yellow. Um, um, yes, you're very sweet. Um, so I had picked up a L'Oreal Supreme Color Preference or something like that, golden blonde, which was looked pretty close to my actual hair color back when I had my actual hair color, which I don't know if it is my actual hair color. So I put that in, and it actually put back a lot of the red, but it's a lot blonder than it was. So you know, I'm gonna continue um, this moving forward and seeing how it works and seeing if I like the red. It's interesting because I feel a lot blonder than I think I look to other people because very few people have noticed. Um, but I have been sort of feeling like, even though I wanted to go blonde, I've been feeling like, oh, it's not dynamic. You know, like I'm used to being a kind of almost shocking red, and we'll see. I think it's a good step. I want to go back there, but honestly, seeing the color oops and seeing how much that took out, I am not going to feel like it's going to be a huge expensive process to take the color out if I decide, you know what, I want to go back red, and then I'm like, no, I want to go back blonde. I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm still going to be careful. I'm not going to do it, you know, like I'm not going to change massively within a week or anything like that. But yeah, I'm not going to be afraid of it anymore. So there's that. I have been very snacky today. I have just been hungry today. I ate late last night. I had a bizarre day, but it ended in support group, and then I ended up getting home and not eating until like 7:30. So I came home today. I like at work today. I had, oh goodness, 2 snacks. I had pecans shortly after breakfast. I just love them. The front porch uh, pecans. I think it's just the sea salt. Oh, they're so good. And I get those, and then I also had a couple pieces of bacon jerky, which is basically it's Oberto, I think is the name of it, and it's just basically bacon in a bag that's, you know, dried or preserved in some way that you can just keep it in there. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. Um, so yeah, I had a couple pieces of bacon, and then I got home and I had a handful of moon cheese because I'm hungry. And I don't know if it's I'm really hungry or if I'm mentally hungry or what. I'm not quite sure. But I drank all 96 ounces of water already. So, you know, that's the first thing I do when I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I'll drink some water. Um, and honestly, I do know I have curly hair on my mouth. I do know that if like real hunger, true hunger that your body creates for you, it comes when you're used to eating. And when you don't eat, it sort of goes, oh, we're not eating? Oh, okay. And it goes away and then comes back again when when you're supposed to eat the next time. And the fact that this hunger isn't really going away means that it's more of a craving or head hunger, that it's not real hunger, that it's not my body saying, hey, I need nutrients. It's just me going, I'm bored. I'm not bored. I have plenty to do, but it's, you know, like there's something that my body's just going, I want to eat. I deserve to eat. So I'm trying to, what I want to do is just ignore it. What I am negotiating with myself is that I will eat, but I will stick to um, keto-friendly foods. So moon cheese, regular cheese, bacon jerky, things that aren't going to, and even like if I want to have chocolate, chocolate zero is damn good. I don't know if you, my two, like I've mentioned evolved eating. They're coconut butter cups. I get them in, I think it's sea salt caramel, which isn't very I mean, I don't want to push these because these are not, they look like Reese's peanut butter cups. They do not taste like Reese's peanut butter cups. It's a very subtle flavor. It's a very subtle sweetness. It's not like in your face sweetness. So if you're looking for in your face sweetness, do not get those. And it's a subtle caramel flavor. It's not an in your face caramel. And I love in your face caramel, but that is not it. But they, you know, if I don't have, you know, like if I'm hungry for chocolate, I'll either have one of those or Chalk Zero has little packages that are portion controlled, like 1 ounce pieces of chocolate, and they have milk and they have dark and they have different things in the chocolate. Like my personal favorite that I've got right now is the milk chocolate with peanuts. I also like the dark chocolate with peanuts. I've had both. Milk chocolate with almonds or the dark chocolate with almonds is really good. You know what? I haven't had one of their things that I haven't liked. So that, you know, made me happy. We get the keto crate. It's one of the, you know, like there's a whole bunch of boxes. Oh, you can just get a box of weird samples. And we've been doing the keto box, and I have considered stopping because I think that it's not quite worth what it is, but my husband enjoys it, so we get it anyway. And usually it's, you know, we've gotten artichoke heart noodles, which I haven't tried yet. And you know, like I think I first got Chalk Zero in there. There's all kinds of, you know, sweet things. There's bars in there. I had one of the Good Fats bars from there, which was pretty good. I kind of liked it. But this last time, and I've had two things that I've gotten from them that I've been very interested in, and I'm gonna say that neither completely lived up to what I wanted, but there is Catalina Crunch is the first keto cereal that I ever saw, which is, you know, like it feels like cereal. It looks, they've changed it so it's more like flakes, but it's a thick flake. The one I got looks like cat food. It's, you know, it's pellets, but and you put, you know, pour milk on it and you eat it. And that one came with macadamia milk in the box. So I'm like, okay. I actually bought some more of the macadamia milk because it was not bad tasting. It was fine, but it was, I got it at Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. I don't know if this is where everybody, if everybody has one of these. This shop is insane. It's like, I think what they get are things that they try to market to groceries that don't take or don't sell. But they get weird stuff, and you can never guarantee they're going to have anything for long. But they had some macadamia milk in it. I'm like, okay, I'll get some more of it. But anyway, the next cereal, like, so Catalina Crunch, it's okay. It's not great. But if you, you know, have an urge for chocolate cereal, what I would actually, that is fibery. That's very definitely fibery. But they have, I think it's called Cereal School. Which has, I've seen online, and it's like, oh, you can order it, but you really had to place a $50 order. And I'm like, I don't even know if I like your stuff. I'm not placing a $50 order. But they have 2 flavors, and those flavors are basically Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles. Although they are not pebble, they are full balls. So it's like Kix cereal, but chocolate flavored and fruity flavored. And I have seen them and wanted to try them because I was not allowed to have cereal growing up, sugary cereal. Occasionally, my mom would buy Popeye's puffed rice, and that was awful. It was just horrible. But we didn't have cereal. And I think one of the things that contributed to my weight gain was when I was in college, they had a cereal bar. and one of the cereals was Lucky Charms, and I went gonzo on the Lucky Charms after not being able to have any. I was just like, okay, yeah, I would have maybe 2 bowls of Lucky Charms for breakfast, especially in the weekends. Um, but it was, uh, like so part of me is like, oh, sugary cereal, but not sugary cereal. I would like to try that. And a little package of the Fruity Pebbles flavor, they don't call it Fruity Pebbles, but the fruit flavor came in my keto crate, and I was very excited. And I tried it, and it was super sweet. And you know what? I have never really been a Fruity Pebbles person, so maybe it does taste like the cereal. I know people have been raving about it, but to me, I'm just like, yeah, that just is too sugary, and there's no way. I finished. I had a couple like bites of it right away because I wanted to try it, and then I had it as a snack, or as this almost as a dessert, I think, last week, and I was like, yeah, this works as a dessert, but I could not see eating that and functioning as a regular human being for breakfast. So anyway, um, I don't know if I recommend the keto crate. If you like trying out things, it's nice doing it with my husband because we usually share things. There's certain things that neither of us like, but we try it, and we try the meat sticks, and there's all kinds of like cheese products and stuff like that. So a lot of times we save some of the stuff. You got a cook in your eye. We save some of the stuff and use it for movie snacks because it's usually a smaller size and it's perfect for movie snacks. But I have, found some products. Oh my God, if you do want what is that called? I'll bring one in next time. No, Choco Right. Choco Right. So it's CHOCORIT. They have 2 different kinds. They probably have more, but they have 2 different kinds of candy bars that, oh my God, they're so good, and they're sugar free. And they're fairly good ingredients. They're not perfect, but they're fairly good ingredients. And I try to really limit them, but one I love is the caramel with like Rice Krispies. It's not really Rice Krispies. Yes. It's not really Rice Krispies, but it has little crunchies. I love that. It reminds me of, I can't remember what that bar is called. But there was a candy bar that's very similar to that. And my husband gets the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup alikes, and he's very happy with those. So we get those and we take those to the movies. And I am a sweet, like a candy addict. I do not eat it all the time. I will say I have an Evolve cup every day, but I do not eat most of this stuff all the time. I just sort of have it occasionally. This is a good look for me. I have it occasionally. I have it when I go to the movies, or when I need a treat. So yeah, I have in the house, I have some Choc Zero, I have those Choco Rights, and I have Smart Sweets, which are they are either gummy bear. You can have gummy bears. There's also like sour gummy bears, I think, and Swedish Fish, which are not Swedish Fish. They just are shaped like fish, and they are berry flavored. They're good. But I really like chewy candy, and so I'm like, okay, that's great. I have that. I can use it. And then the one that I wouldn't recommend, but I do really like, is Russell Stover's saltwater taffy, sugar-free saltwater taffy. So like I said, I really try to be sparing with this, especially the Russell Stovers, and that has caused intestinal discomfort if I have too much, or if I forget that usually I really am aware of not going over that serving size, but got distracted and forgot that I had another sweet, and then I had the Russell Stover, so then I had too much of the maltitol, and that caused some issues. But not terrible, lived through it. And if you need to have some sweets in order to get through it all, it's so much better to do the sugar-free stuff than it is to do the normal stuff. Um, Mainly because if you're worried about intestinal distress, you're not going to go overboard on them. But like I don't find it does not make me crave the real thing. I feel like this is enough, and I am, I'm looking at this as a lifestyle. If that, having a piece or two of saltwater taffy once or twice a week will get me through and not make me go crazy and binge, good for me. So yeah, I had said that I wanted to get, that my goal for my birthday is to either get under the BMI, which I've done, or to get to the 35 mark. And I am pretty much there. I have 0.4, and I still have 2 weeks to my birthday. Yeah, 2 weeks. Today's 17th. 3 weeks to my birthday. So I'm actually gonna try to get to 230, which is funny because I was reading back. I started journaling pretty heavily when I started this whole process, and then I fell off the wagon, and then I tried to get back on it again. And I have been journaling fairly regularly recently because I do think it helps. But I was reading an old journal from my birthday last year. And my birthday last year, I said, maybe this time next year, I'll be in my 230s. And I'm like, God damn it, I am. It would be great to, she goes, or even lower, she says. I say in the past, or even lower. So, yeah, maybe I can be even lower. That would be great. But that's cool to know that my birthday last year, I thought 230 would be a really great number. And at the time, I think I was 340. So yeah, that would be a really great number. And I achieved it, and I'm happy. I mean, I'm not quite to 230 yet, but I'm in the 230s. I'm exactly in the middle of the 230s. So anyway, this ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be. But, and I probably rambled a lot and told you a lot of stuff that you don't need to know about, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you again.